There we go. Wanted to give us an opportunity to just kind of acknowledge where we are and how we're feeling. And hopefully we'll get energized as we talk about Khanmigo. So here are some things that we are going to cover in our very short time today. You guys are going to get access to and kind of see where we've got some tools and resources for whole group tier one instruction. We also are going to focus on evaluating and selecting appropriate learner activities. So if you are part of our Khan Academy district partnerships, your students have access to learner activities. And so thinking about it from the standpoint of whole group instruction and how it can enhance what's happening in that first pass. And then reviewing some appropriate data points, showing you how you can support and monitor your students as they are using AI and using our platform. I will say before we move forward, if you are here and you are not one of our current Khan Academy district partnerships, it is okay. You have access to all of our Khan Academy content as well as the Khanmigo teacher tools for free. That is something that you can access. If you are part of our partnership, we are so glad that you are here, and this is additional information from the other professional learnings that we have done. You are welcome to follow along if you have a Khan Academy account. If you need to do that in your learning, or if you are one to take notes and to watch, you are also welcome to do that. So the first thing we're going to focus in on is just highlighting some teacher tools. So Khanmigo is our AI-powered teacher assistant and thought partner. And with AI, there are some, specifically Khanmigo, there are some nuances that we want to make sure that everybody kind of knows and recognizes and keeps in the back of their head. So Khanmigo is actually built into our platform. It is not a separate entity that you would have to log into after you've logged into your Khan Academy account. And one of the features that I really love about Khan Academy is it doesn't require the same level of prompting that some of the other AI tools do. So things like ChatGPT, OpenAI, Magic School, where I might have to put in and do some prompting and some thinking. Khanmigo is really focused in on the context. And so what do I mean by context? Khanmigo tools are going to ask me for a grade level. And I can click on it and drop down a list. Khanmigo is also going to ask me for a topic. It's going to ask me maybe for a learning objective, some individual lesson context. So I have some open options here. It's not connected directly to your Arizona standards. And so you can actually take a piece of your Arizona standard, so the narrative part, and you can copy it and drop it in, and that is context. So Conmigo only needs context. And once we do that, it can kind of move forward and be able to create things, design resources, whatever task you have asked it to do. So, because I see in the chat that we do have quite a few folks outside of our partnership, I want to make sure that everybody kind of sees exactly what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to switch over to the dashboard. And this is Khan Academy. Inside the dashboard, I have access to Khanmigo. And I will make my screen just a smidge bigger. And this is my exhaustive list of teacher tools. So as I mentioned, Khanmigo is built inside of the platform. And so each one of these teacher tools is directly connected to a task that you as an educator might have to do inside of your classroom on a daily basis. It is thinking about all of the elements of planning, creating, differentiating, supporting, and learning. So we have these larger tabs that are up at the top. So when I'm mentioning context, I'm going to give you an example. let's say that I want to create some discussion prompts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to click inside of discussion prompts. I'm just selecting that tool. And you'll notice that Khanmigo, I only have 2 blanks that I need to fill in. So I'm going to choose grade level. So I happen to choose 7th grade. And then I'm going to select a topic. And I'm going to select 2-step equations. And I'm going to actually say solving 2-step equations by isolating the variable. Very little context. What I've put in there, Khanmigo knows what a discussion prompt is. It looks like, has an exemplar example in the prompting part of it. I didn't have to tell Khanmigo, I need you to create a discussion prompt because I have selected that particular tool. So I'm going to choose the start button. And then in a matter of seconds, Khanmigo is going to create for me several discussion prompts. You can see from here, I have a larger kind of overarching topic, and then I have 3 questions that go with that particular topic within my context topic, and then I've got my questions, topic, and I have my questions. So you can see as what you see on the screen, it's very targeted to the context. The context that I provided gave Khanmigo what it needed to give me a very robust response. And then from here, I have lots of options. I can share with my colleagues. If I'm creating this as part of a PLC, then I can share a link directly. They click on it, get a copy, and now they have it inside of Khan Academy, their Khan Academy account. I can print it. I can also export. I have 4 different options or places where I can export. I also have an opportunity to look at my questions and maybe I'm like, I don't know where that's going with that. So I can actually highlight the topic and be able to make changes, try something, or discuss it. And if I want to discuss it, Khanmigo, you saw Khanmigo pop out to the side, and now I can continue on with an interaction and ask Khanmigo anything. Khanmigo gives me some breakdown, particular things to think through as I'm planning my direct teach and what I'm giving for my students. So this is all about context and how to enhance the response. And I want to give you guys an opportunity to practice that. So if you have ever logged in or you have an account into Khan Academy, you have access to your Khanmigo teacher tools. If you wanted to take time right now, you are welcome to log in and choose one of these 3. I've already done the discussion prompts for you. But you could choose one of the other 2 and work on adding your context. I want you to think about something that you're teaching in the next 7 to 10 days and use that as your topic or your objective. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple of minutes to do that. And then we will come back together and answer any questions and then move forward into the learner part of this. If you do not have a Khan Academy account and you feel like you want to investigate and explore later, you can take your personal device and take a picture of this screen to kind of help prompt you in your exploration and giving you a place to start. India has dropped into the chat for us, khanacademy.org. If you click on that link, it is free for you to select and create an account if you are not one of our Khan Academy district partners. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to choose, get logged in if that's something that you want to do at this time. Get logged in, utilize Khanmigo, and choose from one of these 3 options to provide some context. You can drop any questions that you might have about these tools in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer those. So we'll come back in 3 minutes. No, the numbers are backwards. It's really weird how it does that. There we go. For those of you that are choosing to explore a little bit later, I can go ahead and pop into the Make It Relevant, just so you can kind of see what is available there. Here's the Make It Relevant tool. So here in this particular tool, it does ask you for some context, some general context about your students. Notice I did not put any names. I also did not give any specific demographic information. I'm simply giving an overarching idea of something that they are interested in outside of the school building. I'm going to click Start. I'll give you just a second. I can zoom out. So you have an opportunity to kind of look at the format of the Make It Relevant and take a look at how it's chunked up. If you are watching my demonstration and my part of the creation, I would love for you to drop in the chat what is something that you see with this tool and what resources it produces that excites you. Just drop in the chat for us what's something that you are seeing right now you're really excited about. Oh, it relates to the learner's world. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So this is a great tool, again, to use for whole group as you are presenting content for the first time, really making that connection with the things that your students are excited about outside of the classroom. Absolutely. Perfect. All right. So all of our teacher tools, when I go to my teacher tools, all of them do a specific task. And so if you think about your tier one instruction, your whole group instruction, what are the things that you are doing for your students? And then you want to ask yourself, what do I need time in order to be able to create what I want to create? Do I want to hook my kids in and get a lesson starter going? Do I need an opportunity to create some clear directions? Maybe you have an activity that you love as part of your whole group instruction, but you need some clear directions. Maybe you want for your students, you want to find out how they feel about their learning, where they are with their understanding at the end. And so you can create and use an exit ticket. Each one of these tools does a particular task. So the big question when you're using AI in your classrooms and to help support you, you've got to ask yourself, when am I going to use this? I don't want to outshine because I want to keep a good rapport. Yes, it's nice to use as a thought partner. Absolutely. Sometimes you have made so many decisions that it's really hard for you to think about creating or doing one more thing. And so it's nice to have some suggestions. With my, I want to go back to my documents, what I just created. So with my solving equations with TikTok, this gives me an idea and an objective. I can be finished from there and I can move forward and input that into what I'm doing inside of my classroom. I also can take what Khanmigo has given me. So I like this equation challenge, and I can actually copy my idea and objective. I can go back to my teacher tools and I can do lesson plan. And I can use that idea and objective as my context. Remember, I said context with Khanmigo is important. So I can actually do that, copy and paste. And then I'm going to paste it in 2 more times. Select which format of lesson plan I'm interested in. Right today, I'm interested in my 4 part, and I also want high detail, and I can click start. So what Khanmigo created for me, connecting content with the relevancy outside of the classroom, I can take that idea and objective as my context and drop it into the lesson plan tool. And you see in less than a few seconds, it's written a lesson plan that is all around solving two-step equations by isolating the variable. I've got warm up, class activities. I've got a synthesis. I've got a cool down. I can also activate and ask for, give me a summary for this lesson plan for a 48-minute time frame. And so it takes those elements and it gives me some time frames so I know about how long to spend with my students if this is the first time that I'm doing that particular activity. And so to kind of switch gears, the other side of the house is the learner activities. Now, the caveat to this is the learner activities are part of our paid partnership. But just to give you an idea, if you are with one of our partnering districts and you are here today, we want to highlight for you the learner activities that you can use with whole group. One of the things that I like to recommend to teachers is actually modeling. Um, our students are going to grab onto AI, and they've already grabbed onto AI very quickly. And we have to kind of back it up and teach them some really responsible, respectful, and effective learner behaviors when we are working with technology. And so if I'm in my whole group, I may come in and select this Tutor Me Math and Science. So let's say that we are talking about ecosystems. So I'm going to choose my topic, and I would have this up on my screen. And as I am talking out loud and giving my students an idea of my thought process, I also would be asking for feedback. So I am going to choose science. And then, folks in the chat, if you would give me an area of science that you would like to focus on. The first person to drop it in, that's where we're headed. Physics, excellent. Thank you, Claudia. And so, Claudia, give me a particular concept or topic within physics, or someone else that also likes physics. Gravity, perfect. So I could have gravity, just like I'm asking you to give me the information. I could utilize this in my whole group and have my students give me the information back. Khanmigo is going to ask me a question, and so then I can pose that question to my students. So the learner activities can be something that they can use in whole group. There is also this option if I am done modeling it and I'm ready to release my students to utilize Khanmigo individually, I can also press the assign button and assign it to my students very easily. I can give a title, a set of instructions where I can put in here, ask these types of questions, these particular topics to focus in on, or if I want just some be sure to include, if I want them to do complete sentences, whatever it might be. I can assign particular classes and students, start date, start time, due date, due time, and then I have assign. I'm going to pause just for a second. What questions do you guys have about the standalone learner activities that can be used if you have this capability, if your students have this capability, and what that could possibly look like inside of the whole group instruction? No question? So Jensen, students have access to Khanmigo if you are part of a district who has a partnership for us. So Khan Academy, our courses and our teacher tools are available for free as well as part of our paid partnership. And then the learner activity, so the access that students would get for AI, is strictly part of the paid portion of a partnership. We do have partnerships across the states with several districts that are with the Arizona Department of Education. So if your district is one of those Khan Academy district partners, you might know about it, and your students would have access to those learner activities. Great question. Just so you know, too, that our platform has some monitoring. It is not just about what's happening in the courses and the content for our videos, our articles, and our exercises. We also have access, if your students do have those learner activities, to be able to look at their usage and kind of monitor over time what's happening, to be able to drive what you're doing during your whole group instruction and how you're utilizing Khan Academy and Khanmigo inside of that. And so our time, very short today. What are some next steps for you? I would love for you to think just for a second. You've heard some information today. For you, it might have been new information or it might be reinforcing, but I would love for you to drop in the chat. What is one thing that you are walking away with knowing today that you did not know when you walked in here today or you logged in today? You want to drop that in the chat for me. What's one thing that you are walking away with? New knowledge. Yes, Nicole, so many functions. And what I find is I think about my schedule, right? I think about all of the tasks and then I think where could I use some support or where could I use some more time? And that's where I then try to incorporate Conmigo. I don't try to use it for everything. I try to identify one little place because there are so many different functions. Yes, Kim, absolutely. And the Bookit is very cool. So if you saw that, that is a fairly new tool. You would just need to get a free account for Bookit and it connects. You create the questions by giving the context to Conmigo and it designs the Bookit and kids are loving it. It's one of our top teacher tools that's being used right now. Oh, I love that, Matt. You were able to discuss lesson planning and a subject and an objective. So you can continue the conversation with Conmigo. Um, there is a lot to learn. Yes, absolutely. My suggestion, if you are new to this, is you find one tool and you focus in on that tool and plugging it in as often as you can, and gaining that confidence. And then when you feel confident, move on to the next tool. Don't try to use all of them all at once. No, the Bookit is one of your teacher tools. It is part of the free part, and so you would just need to connect and get your own Bookit account, which I believe is free, and then from there, your students you can have access. It's not part of the partnership for that. It's a teacher tool. You just need an account. Exactly. Thank you, India. Khanmigo does have a lot of abilities to help with lessons, to enhance instruction, whether you're new or you are veteran and you've been doing it for a while, if you want to beef a few things up. Yes, absolutely, Mike. Anyone who registered and attended, registered and wasn't able to attend, will get a copy of this video, this recording as well. Great. So some next steps for you. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is the first of four in this learning workshop series for the spring for our Arizona and our West Coast partners. So grab your teacher bestie, your PLC, your team, and join us for our next one on April 10th. You can see here the lineup. So mark those dates on your calendar. And you can also see the topic for focus. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to register. Even if you are 100% not 100% certain you can attend, because you will get the recording. And we do have a designated Arizona and West Coast team that we are here to support you. And over the course of the learning series, you'll get an opportunity to hear from some of the different people on the team. And we are super excited to support you. We are here to answer questions and be thought partners. There is an asynchronous guide, and I'm going to drop that in the chat with some follow-up on-demand videos, and some action steps to just kind of help guide your own personal exploration into Khanmigo and how it might support you in the classroom. As we wind down our time together today, I want to launch you with this quote from our founder and CEO, Sal Khan. As technology plays a major role inside and outside the classroom, we want to make sure education innovation is accessible. So I challenge you to see the importance of ensuring that advancements in technology are part of your classroom, and opportunities for all of your students, which is why we focused on whole group instruction today. Khan Academy and Khanmigo can foster an inclusive learning environment that empowers every learner to thrive in this digital landscape. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Again, my name is Jennifer Cummings, and I am a professional learning specialist with Khan Academy. Your feedback is invaluable as we work to design future learning series and professional learning opportunities for our folks on the West. If you would take a moment to scan that QR code, I am also dropping the link in the chat. The document might, oh, yep. I will get that over to our person who will send out the recording, and make sure that you guys can get access to that as well. Thank you, Louise, for letting me know. And thank you guys so much for being here. If you have additional questions, you are welcome to stay on. Otherwise, have a fantastic afternoon and evening.